Hey guys, thanks for joining us this week. Our members in our society are focused around growth, and one of the fastest ways to grow your business and your revenue is to build a successful email list. So that's what we wanted to focus today's episode on and dive strictly into the several ways that we wanted to give you on how you can grow your email list.
Yep. So I think first we want to just address why would anybody join your email list in the first place? Why do you why do people join email lists? I mean, we don't really want more emails, right? But the reality is that you have something to offer. You have value. You can provide results and transformation for your ideal audience and really make those goals and dreams come true for them. And maybe you even host special events, or maybe you're going to launch something soon, and so you need to grow a wait list, and your ideal clients want to be on that wait list so that they can be notified when you open the doors. So there are lots of reasons why someone would want to join an email list, despite, most of us not wanting to get a bunch of emails. But really come to terms with the fact that people do want to join email lists because you have something to offer and can truly make a difference with emails.
Yeah, and we're not talking about people wanting vanity numbers, right? Like everyone's chasing that, having an Instagram status of 20,000+ followers or whatever the case might be. But when you get to thinking about it, the people who are on your email list are the ones who are primed, who are bought in and are ready for whatever you have to offer. They're giving you a chance to show them you have something that they want. So they're the qualified followers, right? They're the warm leads versus the people on social media who are just like cold leads. They're following you. They may have just found you through something, maybe an ad, but they don't know a lot about you or what you do. And so it's going to take a while before those people convert. But the people on the email list, like Kayla said, we don't want to get a bunch of emails. So if they're giving it to you, they're like, hey, I'm ready. What do you have? Let's do this. So we want to talk about, maybe some places where you can place your call to action so that you can start to grow your email list and have more of those people who are ready to buy. And whether that's, beforehand where you're getting ready to launch something, or you have something to offer and you have a funnel that is set up to give them something.
Yeah. So one of the first places that you can apply your call to action is on your website. There's multiple places on your actual website where you can get website visitors to take action and join your email list. And one of the first things that we often think about, especially if we're new to online business, is pop-ups. And we're not necessarily huge fans of pop-ups, but using them correctly and strategically, they can actually work for you in growing your email list without getting your website visitors to immediately close their browser. So you can use them when maybe your audience clicks a link or a button. So there's certain features you can use, plugins and coding, that are actually pretty easy to use. We'll talk about some of the plugins, but you can apply a code to a link or a button, and when they click the button, that triggers a pop-up that has the sign-up form. Or you can also apply a pop-up to the action of your website visitor when they are exiting your website. So when they go to close the browser, maybe that's when the pop-up comes up. So we personally don't like to recommend a pop-up on your website when they're reading or scrolling something, but the two that we did suggest, where they take an action like click or take an action to go and leave, those pop-ups would probably be more beneficial and getting leads versus turning them away. So you can also use pop-up bars. So these are a little thinner and less intrusive, and get the point across of what it is that you're offering them in terms of your lead magnet and to join your email list, but these are a little bit smaller. And so you can use tools like Sumo is a plugin, or Hello Bar is another plugin. Mail Munch is another one that we'll talk about, I think, in a second. But those three, Sumo, Hello Bar, and Mail Munch, can offer these kinds of pop-ups pretty easily to any WordPress website.
Yep, absolutely. And so if you're a big advocate of driving traffic to your website, maybe Pinterest is your game and that's where you're focused at, then those kinds of things would be great to consider. You could also consider adding other plugins to the site that add forms across all of your pages. This is one that I like to use, that I do as well. And it does exactly that same thing. So I can add it like at the bottom of each of my like blog posts, or, just wherever section I want on my blog. I can add it to like the sidebar. So if they happen to be scrolling through information there or looking for categories, and then I can add it to certain pages. You can add it in different sections of, different pages that you have on your website. So there are other plugins like that, like Kayla was mentioning. Mail Munch is one of those that you can go through and just have that code set up to be in different places on the page. So again, it's not like, super intrusive. Like no one wants to sit there and scroll through reading your blog and getting tons of information. You're all in it. And then bam, it's like popping up with this huge pop-up right in the middle of everything. So that's why we don't necessarily recommend that particular method, but things like this to still make sure it's visible to your audience, so that they can find it and subscribe to what you have to offer.
Yeah, and a lot of these placements and suggestions really work for us in our businesses, so that's why we suggest them. So you might think, well, I don't want to be intrusive to my readers. I want to not constantly offer them things. But if they're there looking for help, and if your lead magnet is truly helpful and full of value, they are going to subscribe, especially if you put them in strategic placements, so that it's like the natural next step. So the bottom of your blog posts is perfect because they've reached the bottom of some very valuable content. And then that content upgrade or that lead magnet is the natural next step for them. Another area where you can grow your email list is a link in bio tool, or putting your actual lead magnet link in your bio. It's popular for redirecting all of your traffic to various links on social media. So I know Crystal and I, we use Linktree. You can actually just put your lead magnet link in your bio. If you have one lead magnet, it's like your hero. You could just use that one. But you could also use a link in bio tool, kind of like Linktree. And you can put that across all your social media. So your Facebook business page has a place for you to put your lead magnet link. Instagram, you could put that on your link in bio. You could use the same tool on Pinterest because there's a place to put a link in your profile there as well.
Yeah, there's like a whole slew of places like that. Some other ones that come to mind that we can just kind of rattle off to give you some other ideas and kind of get your brain going is, using Pinterest pins. That's a good given. You can create a set of graphics just for your lead magnet, just to draw some more attraction and get that out there. Pinterest is great, especially for a long-term game. Post on Instagram stories. I think you can run, dollar a day ads directly to your lead magnet as well, depending on what your budget is.
Yeah. I think, a lot of these suggestions are, are really, obvious. It's a lot of places where you can put your content, but it's really helpful if you make your templates like Crystal was saying, and repurpose those templates on all of these various different social media platforms. I know that Crystal, we run like $1 a day ad strategy for our lead magnets, and we get subscribers, and all we're doing is spending $1 a day on those Facebook ads, and then putting them in our Instagram stories once or twice a week to get new followers and more eyes on our lead magnets. Yeah. So
Absolutely. Yeah. So, running those dollar day ads is great. Even taking, like Kayla was saying, and repurposing. So if you're doing a podcast, you're doing an IGTV, you're doing a YouTube video, you've got these things going on in stories, and you've got that, call to action there on the end that says, hey, we've got this freebie for you. Head over there and grab that. And then taking that content and pushing it out into a few different places. All of those things are great. I think you can even do, live Q&As on Instagram and Facebook. Kayla and I have done a couple of those with Creative Boss Method as well, to just give people an opportunity to let them know what you have, and constantly putting it out there and reminding them, right? The average, person, it takes them 6 to 7 times to see something before they actually decide to buy into it. So take that into consideration as you're going through and you're hearing us talk about these different ideas.
Yeah. I've had the same lead magnet for multiple years and I never stopped talking about it. And that's because hopefully, like me, you're continually growing your audience. So we often as entrepreneurs think that we're over marketing or over communicating. But the truth is that you are looking for new followers and you are trying to attract more new audience. And that doesn't mean that you don't pay attention to your existing audience, but your existing audience knows that you are, attracting new following. So they're gonna be used to the idea of you promoting your freebie, even though maybe they've already signed up. Because they're there, if they're still following you, they're there for the long game, right? They're there because they like you, because they relate to you, not because they've already grabbed your freebie and, they're gonna go away. They're there for the long game. So don't be afraid to promote, do mini trainings on your IGTV, YouTube stories, your Instagram stories, like Crystal was saying. Do live Q&As like Crystal was saying, and direct them afterwards with your call to action. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, so your action at this point, we've talked about a lot of different ways that you can promote your lead magnet. Your action at this point should be pick 1 to 3 of your favorites out of our list of suggestions and go all in on those. Or maybe even just one. You could pick your top one and really be very pointed with your actions. So if you go all in on Instagram stories, go all in and, make all of your effort about that. You have to develop consistency and actually persistency. So consistency can be a little bit boring.
Is that a word?
Persistence. Persistence. I don't know if that's a word, but persistence, you know what I mean? So like we often talk or hear about like you have to be consistent, but really the truth is like we have to be persistent, right? Like you want to grow and change and evolve over time. And so we just need to be persistent with our growth efforts. But basically get your lead magnet in front of your audience in all the different ways that you can, but go all in on the one that really resonates the most with your audience and that is maybe more fun for you right now. Like if you really enjoy Instagram stories right now, like do that as much as you can.
Yeah, you got to channel that creative energy and where you feel like you're going to put the best effort towards promoting it. So that's extremely important as well. And I know that, for those of you who have been around here listening to our podcast now for a couple of episodes, that in the Creative Boss Society, we aren't all about the hustle. We believe in strong brands, massive, massive value, and creating space for big dreams. We want to see other business owners in the creative space start to succeed more, and it shouldn't be that hard. You have the support and the accountability throughout us. And so we're excited to welcome you to an opportunity to accelerate your business through our continual support and our monthly coaching. And all of it is just slightly over $1 a day.
Yeah.
Right?
Our members are really crushing it. They're just absolutely crushing it inside of the membership, taking tons of action, growing their email lists, and launching their products and creating sales pages. And so I just really hope that you're ready to come and join us and crush it too.
Yes, we hope to see you there.
Yep.
And until then, we'll see you next week.